There's a silent contract many of us sign without ever reading the terms. It says, "In exchange for acceptance, I will shrink. In exchange for harmony, I will soften my edges. In exchange for not making others uncomfortable, I will apologize for the space I occupy." We say sorry for having an opinion. Sorry for needing a moment alone. Sorry for being ambitious, for being direct, for having standards. Each apology feels small, like a single grain of sand given away. But over a lifetime, you look down and realize you've given away the entire beach and you're left standing on sinking ground. This isn't about becoming abrasive or unkind. It's about reclamation. It's about understanding that a man who constantly apologizes for his own nature is a man at war with himself. The ancient philosophers, particularly the Stoics, knew this. They taught that the greatest empire is the empire of the self, and today we're taking back that territory. These are 6 things you must stop apologizing for, effective immediately. If any of these strike a chord, recognize it not as criticism, but as a call to return to yourself. 1. Stop apologizing for your boundaries. A boundary is not a wall to keep the world out. It's a line that defines where you end and someone else begins. It is the perimeter of your self-respect. Yet, how often do we apologize for drawing that line? Sorry, I can't. I have something need to take care of. What you're really apologizing for is valuing your own time, your own energy, your own sanity. Think of it like this. A friend asks you to help them move on your only day off. You had planned to use that day to finally work on the business plan you've been dreaming about for a year. The apologetic man says, "Oh, sure, man, no problem." He spends his day lifting boxes, his resentment growing heavier with each one. His dream remains a dream. The aligned man says, "I can't this Saturday, but I can drop off some pizzas for you guys in the evening." One response is a betrayal of the self. The other is a statement of priority. You are not a public utility, available 24/7. Your life is a finite resource. The Stoic philosopher Seneca put it perfectly. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you are wasting your life to manage someone else's expectations. Saying no without an apology is not an act of aggression, it is an act of clarity. The right people will respect it, the wrong people will be filtered out by it, and that is a service, not a sin. 2. Stop apologizing for needing solitude. In our hyper-connected world, being constantly available is seen as a virtue. A text unanswered, a call sent to voicemail, a weekend spent off the grid. These are often seen as acts of neglect, and so we apologize. "Sorry I didn't get back to you, it's been a crazy day." The truth is, your mind is not a 24-hour diner. It's a forge, and a forge requires intense heat and periods of absolute stillness to create something strong. Solitude isn't emptiness. It's the space where you can finally hear your own voice above the noise of the crowd. It's where you process, strategize, and heal. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his private journals, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." He ruled an empire, yet he understood that his strength came not from the Senate, but from the silent moments he carved out for himself. Imagine a graphic designer who is constantly bombarded with emails, notifications, and quick questions from colleagues. He can't create his best work because he is never left alone to simply think. His apology for turning on "Do Not Disturb" is an apology for trying to do his job well. Stop apologizing for needing to unplug. That time is not a luxury. It is a necessity for mental clarity and deep work. Protect your solitude as fiercely as you would protect a treasure, because in this noisy world, it is. 3. Stop apologizing for your standards. Whether it's the quality of work you demand from yourself, the way you expect to be treated in a relationship, or the company you choose to keep, your standards are the architecture of your life. Apologizing for them is like apologizing apologizing for building a house with a strong foundation. You see it all the time. A man starts a new fitness regimen. He stops drinking during the week and turns down late-night junk food. His friends joke, "Oh, look at Mr. Hollywood here, too good for us now." And in that moment, he feels a pang of guilt. The temptation is to say, "Sorry guys, just trying this thing out." Don't. Your discipline is not a judgment on their lack of it. Your high standards are not an accusation, they are a reflection of your commitment to your own potential. The Greek philosopher Epictetus, who was born a slave and rose to become a respected teacher, taught that we must be ruthless in curating our influences. He said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." Having high standards is simply an echo of this wisdom. You are not being difficult. You are being deliberate. You are choosing to surround yourself with what strengthens you, not what pacifies you. Let your standards be a lighthouse that attracts ships of a similar build and warns away those who can't handle the depth of the water. Fourth stop. Apologizing for your success. Our culture has a strange paradox. It celebrates ambition, but often resents the successful. When you start to achieve something, a promotion, a successful project, a personal breakthrough, you may notice a subtle shift in the people around you. The congratulations can feel thin, the smiles a little forced, and the instinct is to downplay your victory. "Oh, it was nothing. I just got lucky." Or, "Honestly, it's not that big of a deal." This is a profound disrespect to the effort you invested, the late nights, the sacrifices, the risks you took. They were real. Apologizing for the rewards of your labor is like a farmer apologizing for a bountiful harvest. Your success is not an insult to those who have not yet succeeded. It is a testament to what is possible. A man I know spent years teaching himself to code, waking up at 5 a.m. before his day job to build an app. When he finally sold it for a life-changing amount of money, some of his oldest friends grew distant. They mumbled about how money changes people. He felt a profound guilt until he realized something crucial. He hadn't changed. His success had simply revealed who they always were. Seneca advised, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Part of that enjoyment is acknowledging your accomplishments without shame. Own your wins, not with arrogance, but with the quiet, dignified pride of a craftsman who knows he has done good work. Your success might make some people uncomfortable. Let it. Let it be the catalyst for their own ambition, not the reason you diminish yours. 5. Stop apologizing for outgrowing people. Growth is a form of movement, and when you are in motion, you will inevitably move past people who have chosen to stand still. This is one of the most painful and natural parts of life. The friendships you had in your early 20s might have been forged in late-night bars and shared irresponsibility, but now your priorities are your family, your career, your mental and physical health. The conversations feel different. The values no longer align. You feel a pull of loyalty, a guilt for the distance that is growing. You might even force yourself to show up to gatherings that leave you feeling drained and inauthentic, all to avoid the quiet accusation, "You've changed." Your response should not be an apology, but a quiet, internal thank you. Yes, you have changed. That was the entire point of your effort. You worked to become a better version of yourself. Why would you apologize for arriving at the destination? The Stoics believed in living a life of purpose and virtue. If your relationships do not support that life, you have a duty to yourself to seek out those that do. This is not about arrogance. It is about alignment. You don't need a dramatic breakup. Often, it's a slow, respectful fade. You are not abandoning them. You are honoring the man you have worked so hard to become. Letting go of what no longer serves you is not a betrayal. It is the ultimate act of self-fidelity. 6. Stop apologizing for taking the lead. Leadership isn't about a title on a business card. It's an action. It's the person who, in a moment of chaos, provides a calm and clear direction. It's the father who sets the standard for his family's values. It's the man in a group of friends who says, instead of complaining about this, let's do something about it. The moment you step up, you make yourself a target for criticism. You will be called bossy, controlling, or too intense. In a culture that often prizes passivity and consensus, taking a stand is a radical act, and you may be tempted to apologize for it. Sorry if I'm being too forward, but delete that phrase from your vocabulary. When Marcus Aurelius was thrust into power, he didn't apologize for being emperor. He accepted the responsibility and focused on being the best leader he could be, famously writing, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Being a good man often requires leading. It requires you to have a vision and to move towards it, even when others hesitate. Leadership is a burden of responsibility, not a platform for ego. Apologizing for it is like a shepherd apologizing to the sheep for guiding them away from a cliff. If you have a clear vision for your life, your family, or your community, do not apologize for acting on it. Your decisiveness may be misinterpreted, but it will be respected by those who matter, and more importantly, you will respect yourself. The world will always ask you to be smaller. It is more convenient for others if you are. But your life is not a matter of convenience. It is the one great masterpiece you have been given to create. Every unnecessary apology is a crack in the marble. Every time you shrink to fit, you chip away at the statue. So, from this day forward, make a new contract with yourself. You will no longer apologize for your boundaries, for your need for solitude, for your high standards, for your success, for your growth, or for your willingness to lead. This is not a declaration of war on the world. It is a declaration of peace with yourself.